What are we saying? Can you?
What you say, bro? You good?
Yeah. Yeah, still you go, man.
You say that felt so good.
Denzel.
Say again.
You say, bro, you good
Win today still.
Bro, we're both cheeks, man.
Bro.
I'm not even on a little gas thing about it, bro. I watched it with a reluctant heart. So yeah.
You know it is though. For me, it's better that one of us got the 3 points. You get me? Both of us, 1 point would have been meaty.
Yeah.
For both.
Yeah, same boat.
Look at the conversations. Look at the conversations we're having. It's dark, you know.
Oh, what's that? What's the echo sound? Did you hear that? Oh, I think it's calm. Rahimi, what webcam are you using?
Just the one on my Mac. Why is it bugging out?
No, it's just it's a cool image. It's just like the image looks a little CCTV like.
CCTV. You're asking how do I change it?
No, I think it's fine, man.
Yeah, no webcam.
Do you have a lampshade above you, guys? We're starting in 1 minute, by the way. For those
it's the lights that are above me still. Why is it glaring in the?
It's not too bad. Just like a couple lights just come over, but it's not too bad. As if it's coming like directly. Is it coming directly like above you? But is it just general lights that come out?
It's the lights that are above me now. Let me see if I can change that. I'll use that lamp instead.
Okay, guys, we're gonna start in a minute. Okay, guys, we got Denzel joining in a minute. All right, let me get the agenda on my phone.
Yeah, that's annoying. I can see it now. I know the glare, yo.
Yeah, Unrivaled League, the women.
Okay. Rahimi's still trying there. Nah, it's all right, man. It's all good, man. That would be the job. Okay, cool, man. Let's make a start. So, welcome to the Rondo. First time live. Do you know what I'm saying? A little something new. Had to. Oh, there's a bit. Wait 1 second. Let me just. There's a bit of background noise. All right, cool. Welcome to the Rondo, guys. First time live. A little something new. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, thought we'd try something, give it to you live on a Sunday night, doing it online. So there's now no excuses about guys tuning in. On today's, it's your boy AA hosting, as always. I'm joined by
Alfonso.
And you struggle with the mute button there, bro. Oh my
God. Rookie. Rookie.
Yeah. Well, Marcus has just come into the building as well.
Fashionably late.
Is Rahimi joining?
He is. He was just here, and then he kind of like got kicked out.
What?
By himself.
I think his device disconnected.
Okay.
Tell him what you're saying, bro. Say, bro. I was just doing a thing like Alfonso is here. Say Marcus is here.
Oh, Marcus has arrived. You should explain that a bit better.
Anyhow, let me add Rahimi to the stage. All right, you're back, bro.
Yeah, United's finest, man. Rahimi, man, loyal to the soul. Just now, bugged out.
We will work on the intro, guys. We will work on the intros. Anyway, it's a new scene for us. But anyway, on today's podcast, we will be discussing. So, firstly, the relegation clash between Spurs and United.
That's crazy. Relegation.
Then we're going to be talking about Chelsea's woes under Maresca. I'm sure, Marcus, you've got a lot for us in that department. And then we're going to talk about the title race that is obviously heating up. I don't know how, but Arsenal have managed to actually use Mikel Merino as an auxiliary 9. He scores a brace, absolute mad scenes. Liverpool scrape through, looking a little bit nervy against Wolves. Then we'll do the typical match roundup. We got Marmoush banging hatties. We had the Snapchat derby. We've got Moyes doing his magic. And then we'll do the bonus topic. I think we might talk about Jude Bellingham, but we'll see. But anyway, let's get into it. Firstly, Spurs versus Man United. As I said, I think going into the game, 13th and 14th in the league, I think, going into the game. Or 13th and 15th. There we go. 13th and 15th going into the game. A Spurs win, so I think they're now 30. They've now jumped from 15th to 13th. And I think United have now gone down to 15th. So a big game, you know, in terms of getting towards safety. I think Spurs confirmed that today, so credit to them. Let's talk about it, man. I think let's start off with Alfonso. Let's start positive. How did you feel about the game?
You said let's start positive. I don't know about that. Yeah, we won, but it weren't a statement win. It wasn't. That's our first home win since like December, early November. So yeah, we won. Like Maddison scored, good for him because Roy Keane called him out earlier this week on the Overlap or their podcast. He called him out about him not being consistent. And it's true. Like Maddison's the sort of player that needs to hear that sort of thing. I think he can be a bit of a show pony. Like for all of his technical ability and his ball striking and all that sort of stuff, he can be a bit of a wishy-washy player. So yeah, like 3 points is great, but I won't be really impressed with Spurs until we put together consistent performances and consistent results. At the moment, this is just a one-off result, and next week, who knows what's back. So yeah, it's a good win. Spence, man of the match again. That's a player.
Over Vicario.
Yeah. I mean, that Spence won it.
Okay.
So I'm saying that, but like since Spence has been put in this team, he's been phenomenal. He deserves a lot of praise for his performances. When he first got signed, Conte brushed him. Conte said he's like a club signing, didn't give him any love. And then under Ange similarly wasn't really giving him much love. And it took for a severe injury crisis for him to get given a run of games. And he's got given us a run of games. And most games he's been our standout player. This is our right back who's playing left back, being our standout player. So he deserves big props. So he's the positive from tonight.
Alfonso, I just had a quick question on that because, yeah, like you said, it was a bit of a weird one. Like Conte hated him, literally never played him. Basically, kind of made it clear that it wasn't his signing. Even then, Ange comes in and everyone says that they think he'll be a little bit more of an Ange player, but Ange, you know, seems disinterested in him. Only uses him very sparingly before this injury crisis, and he's come in now and the guy's good. The guy's good at football, and I always thought, you know, given what he did at Forest, that he'd be all right. So why? What was going on? Was he not training? Was it something like that? What was the big beef about it? I just don't get it.
We used to hear the typical stuff that you hear about like young black players, that it's an attitude problem and that training is not applying himself. Obviously, we're just fans on the outside. We don't know the full truth, but from what we've seen from him on the pitch, he delivers. Like he's someone who's not afraid of a ball. He's someone who's not afraid of the challenges. Even the first game he had against Liverpool, the Carabao Cup first leg against Salah, he done brilliant there. Like each game he's had, he's done brilliant in all over the pitch, whether that's attacking, defending. Yeah, he's been like the one bright spark, and Archie Gray and a few others, but Spencer's been consistently a brilliant player. Why Conte didn't rate him, we don't know. Why Ange didn't rate him, he saved Ange. We was going to come out of a cup. Who was it? Was it Coventry we were playing in the early rounds of Carabao FA Cup? And Spence came on last minutes and scored a goal that kept us in it. And we ended up getting to like the semi-finals before whatever happened last week. But like Spence has been a big part of our push. I say our push, but a positive. Go on, Marcus.
So quickly, Alfonso, would you say that with the introduction of Spence and a couple of other players, because of this injury crisis, there's been a bit of an improvement from the squad?
Rephrase that.
What do you mean? Has the team improved?
Since Spence's introduction?
Yeah.
No, he's one man playing a team sport
from
defense, out of position. So no, but he's put out great performances himself. The team is still the team. Like you can't account for Fraser Forster or Porro breaking his legs all the time, or Benton Cole wandering around the pitch like an aimless dog, and Son being knackered. Like there's only so much a player can do, but he's been a bright this season for us, and he's got a lot of confidence. That's what I like. The main thing about him is he's not afraid. Where all of these older players, sometimes you see Son drifting out the game, you see Maddison not really showing up, you see our more experienced players hiding. He's not hiding. He always wants to ball. He always wants to challenge. So
what's his long-term future at Tottenham? Because obviously you already have like fullbacks that you use, Udogie, Pedro Porro, when your team is fully fit. Where's his position then?
He has to be a mainstay for me. There's no way that once Udogie and Pedro Porro are back fit, that he loses position to them. Like I think that there would be an uproar if that was to happen, because he's shown like he's been better than Udogie at left back and been better than Pedro Porro at right back. So you give him the chance, and he's taken his chance. So for Verb now, Pedro Porro should lose his place, and then Udogie will probably take.
I'd play him ahead of Porro. I think Porro is a good player, but he's a very Spursy player in the negative sense. Like whenever and I actually don't mean that to diss Spurs, but as in like if they want to kind of get that notion off them, which is obviously the goal of a lot of the fans, then you have to kind of look past players like Porro, because I just feel like whenever Spurs are having one of those tough days, he is right at the heart of it, just doing up nonsense, whether it's
doing
head loss. He's got such head loss. I mean, like against Villa the other day, just starts booting players. Should have probably got sent off. Had 2 Stonewall yellows. I don't know how he didn't get the second yellow when he just absolutely swipes Rashford and the ref misses it. But that's officiating in this country. So I think I'll definitely kind of give the starting place to Spence. But anyway, let's kind of get into some United stuff, man.
Just before we address United, I just want to ask a question to Alfonso quickly. Last time we spoke to you, you said that your manager needs to stay in the cup competitions. He's so far he's pretty much out of the not Carling Cup. What's it called?
Carabao.
That's Carabao Cup and FA Cup. Why is he still there?
Trying to figure out Levy's mind is a maze.
Okay.
He shouldn't. He to be fair, like I said, that he should stay only because he told us he wins trophies in the second season, and at that point we was in 3 competitions, cup competitions. Now we're in 1. Now we have Europa League left to hang on to, and that's pretty much his saving grace. I think Levy's just took too long with everything. Even today, I believe he weren't in the stadium today, and there's protests that happened beforehand. He was in America. I think Levy is just. I can't, let me not even lie. I don't know what Levy's doing. I never have once. But yeah, I think Ange in his heart of hearts would be surprised that he's still here if you look at the results we've had over the past 3 months.
Okay.
Yep. Wow. Marcus, over to you.
Okay. So let's go to the United part of it. Rahimi, what was your take? I want you to talk about Garnacho especially. What was your take on the whole game?
Garnacho
Anyway?
especially. The game as a whole, I think anybody that's played football at any level, especially when you're being coached defensively, one of the most important things is spacing, and the spacing between you and other players, and having an understanding of the pitch of who's behind you, who's in front of you, who's to your left, etc. Playing in centre midfield, I think it's definitely the most important position on the pitch. You need to know where everyone is at all times. You need to be able to cover spaces effectively. In that first half specifically, I think it was addressed in the second half, but I'll get onto that. But in the first half specifically, it reminded me a lot of Ten Hag in the second season, where we were just getting cut through the middle, where there was no. It's like our central midfielders had no idea where they needed to be and when they needed to be there. We got cut through numerous occasions, and Maddison was moving to us. Like, let me be real. In that first 45 minutes, Maddison absolutely caned us, like picking up pockets in the space, picking up the ball, distributing. He was very, very good at that, and that's why we conceded. I don't actually think Tottenham created that much in the first half, and neither did United. And I think of the chances, United actually created more than Tottenham, which is unbelievable in itself. But the game as a whole, again, rival fans will probably be bugging out, asking for my manager to be sacked, etc. I said this to you, man, a couple of weeks ago. I said this to you, man, 3 months ago when he was first hired. This is going to be United season for the rest of the year. It will be up and down for the entire year. I think we deserve more than what we got from that game, but it was still poor. So many mistakes, especially in that first half. Casemiro clearly doesn't have the legs anymore, and that goes down to, again, what I was talking about in terms of spacing. Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro didn't have an idea or a clue of how to stop Maddison in that first half, and ultimately that's where we lost the game.
That's fair. Do you feel like you should have taken the chances you got? Because if you looked at the tide of the game,
100%.
in terms of like the chances, you had a lot better chances than United. So is it really the manager's fault at that point?
So for today specifically,
I'm blaming the manager's got a part to blame. In every loss, of course, the manager's got a part to blame. But today specifically, that first 45 minutes, again, he's working with tools that are not adequate for the job. However, the team that he put out there didn't perform the way that it should have in that first 45 minutes, and that's how we lost the game. In the second half, where we created chances again, however, still we're too open, and defensively we get split open too easily. Considering it's a 5 at the back, and it's not really supposed to be like that. You're supposed to have good defensive structure and good build-up play till you get to the final third. That's what 5 at the back is meant to be, in my opinion. Is what I know it as. And the fact that we're getting split open so often by a team that is in the trenches as much as we are in terms of Tottenham. Like literally, as you said, we just switched positions from 13th to 15th. That was a relegation 6-pointer, and we have another one next week. By the way, United are play Everton at home, so we got another 6-pointer next week. So yeah, losing that, and it's looking crazy. Like this season is looking mad.
but in terms of the chances,
Garnacho again. Garnacho has the ability to pull out a screamer. Like he can pull a screamer out of his arse at any point. However, his fundamentals, is something that I don't think is discussed enough. Like the basics of football.
he took a touch in the first half.
Inside the box with nobody around him, and he put the ball into row Z.
That's not normal.
He should have finished that 100%.
That was crazy. It didn't even go on target, bro.
But that's the thing though, and of course he's young. So again, I'm not going to get onto he's not the problem for me. Like I'm not going to get onto him as much as I would other players, senior professionals. That's an outrageous miss though, and again, the manager can't legislate for that. That kind of miss is that's literally.
Rahimi. Raf's called you delusional for not blaming Amarim enough for the loss.
Blaming him enough. I just said he's in cuckoo land, Roy Keenish.
I just said
the manager's partly to blame for the loss.
Okay,
like it's definitely like I literally said. I don't know if Raf's listening or not.
He didn't feel like there was enough in there.
What in terms of saying that the manager's at fault?
Yeah.
What do you want me to say? Do you want me to
Ride out? So do you want me to go Manchester and mute him? I don't get it. Like what more of him do you want? I just said he's partly to blame for the loss. Definitely him. But again, the chances that we conceded ridiculous. And then again, Onana. We spoke about this a few weeks ago and how Onana might have turned the new leaf.
Quick question for you though, just from the manager, before we talk about Onana and a couple of other players. Do you think his job is in danger?
What, Amarim?
Yeah.
I don't think it's in danger. No.
Do you think it should be?
Do you think it should?
I think it should be in danger.
It should be in danger.
That's a difficult question. I genuinely don't know. The reason why I said I'll answer it, or I'll try and explain myself.
In my heart, his job is not in danger.
For me personally, and that's because I know that the way that the club is currently, there's too many other issues, in my personal opinion. However, all of these the results that we've had in the past few weeks,
the inconsistency in performances as well. I can understand why
United fans or some other facets of our fan base and rival fans think that his job should be on the line. We're 15th in the league. It's unacceptable for Manchester United. However, if you put everything into context in terms of what has happened to him when he's come in here, how we were unable to sign any players, how I think
our best attacker is gone, which everybody knows. That's partly him,
and it's partly the attacker himself. But the club as a whole, there's so many other issues that I will not personally put blame on the manager or attribute that to the manager. I think he's working with his hands behind his back.
I'd sack him at the end of the season, I can't lie.
Seriously?
Based off of what?
I just think it's insane. United are 15th. The only teams worse than United in the league are the 3 teams, since he's come into the job, are the 3 teams, just by a bit, by the way, are the 3 teams that have come up from the Championship. That is genuinely the only teams that I believe that are worse than you. West Ham, I'd still have West Ham with you, I'm not even going to lie. It's genuinely those 3 teams. Like, you lot are awful, and I just don't think it's enough for me in terms of, the players, the environment. Yeah, that's all nice and stuff. But United are 15th. You guys are.
You have to give him more time. You have to give a manager like this more time.
There's enough time. Why do you give him a window and invest in him? He's not
at least to give him a whole transfer window, let him see what he can do with his own players. You have to at least give him, because he didn't want to come now. You have to understand that he wanted to come at the beginning of the season, which made more sense for him to implement his football. They've shoved him in a time where he shouldn't have really been there, so you can't really hold too much pressure and hold too much blame on him.
Nah, then for him, he's got to stand on it and say, I don't want to come at this time, so either wait for me or I'll stay at Sport in Lisbon. I don't think you can say, he's been shoved into it. He made a choice. Like, at the time, I don't know how...
You don't turn down United.
But the thing is, so then if you don't turn down United, then make it work then. You can't not turn them down, but then also say, but I didn't want to be here at this time. He accepted the job. He came at this time. Sporting were doing really well, Champions League and in the league. He came here, and now he's suffering. So he's got to say, you know what? I could have said no to United, and if I proved myself another few months at Sporting, then had another pick of a big club. He didn't back himself. He went for United straight away, and now he is where he is. But he has got to do better. I don't think sacking him is reasonable at this point. I think he should be given a window, like you were saying. But these are his choices that he's made.
But the words you just used as well, Alfonso, in terms of suffering, is something that I want to touch on as well, is because I was well aware as soon as he came in that this is what the season would be like, up and down. In terms of trying to implement your system, it's very difficult to do that. But something so specific as a 5 at the back, when you don't have the personnel to do that already, it's going to be an uphill battle. We are United fans. I hope they've buckled up. We're going to suffer for time. I don't even think it's going to be a this season thing. I think there'll be teething issues next season after he's had a window, etc. to do what he needs to do. Top 8 and that's even if we make it. That's what I was going to say. That's even if we make. We might not even make it.
Top 8.
Next week is another 6 pointer. We lose to Everton. It's looking peak.
Next season they have to finish top 8.
What's it?
Yeah, but you're saying next season we might not make it, is what I'm saying.
What do you mean not make it? I mean like get relegated.
I don't know about you, man. I've been looking at United's fixtures, yeah. This is how dark it's become, yeah. I'm looking at who's below, man. You see, the other day, I think it was Ipswich, when Ipswich drew to Villa with 10 men. I wanted to smoke someone, you know. Like I was thinking, we need these men to drop points. We got Ipswich at home next, and Everton. Jesus Christ, we got Everton first. That's gonna be a mad thing. That's 6 points.
Tough game.
Rahimi, your mic's coming in and out. Your mic's coming in and out a bit. I think it might be I don't know if the AirPods maybe angle it a little bit. But I can't lie. I just don't think this is good enough. And I feel like the standards that Rahimi is setting for United is a disgrace. And listen, he don't have his mic in now, so maybe I can just slander him a little bit more before. I just feel like it's insane, because for me, you look at the club that United are in, they are 15th. I just feel like this being okay for Amorim because this is his breaking period, and then United as well, they've got PSR issues. If they invest into Amorim and it goes wrong again after it's gone wrong so many times, they are in deep shit if that happens. I just think if you don't see an upturn in results before the end of the season, I'd let him go. United can't finish 15th at the end of the season, and then you reward Amorim with a 9-figure package for the summer. You give him 100 million odd, which is probably what United need to get this team into order.
If he leaves now,
it's such a failure.
If he leaves at the end of the season or now, then they've wasted a good manager or a decent manager. They haven't even given him.
I don't know if he's decent. How do you know he's decent?
You haven't given him the opportunity to be decent yet. You get.
This is the gaslighting that I despise. Like, why am I saying the guy's not a good manager? When he was ripping up the Portuguese league and smoking Man City, and all the pundits are talking about him like he's the next thing coming up, he's the next big thing, and now all of a sudden, because he's at United in a club that is just clearly poisoned, you're watching other players leave
he has
the club.
A ceiling in this current squad.
You're a United man. You're a United fan.
And
you can't see that there's levels to this.
No, and that's the problem. I can see that there's levels to this, but I see further than you do. So the problem with rival fans is, or what they're going to try and do, is they're going to try and force us to want him to go out. Me personally, I'm smarter than that, and I'm thinking more ahead. I know that this is going to take years of build-up. You can say what you like to me. It's irrelevant to me.
You said the same thing about Ten Hag.
What about Ten Hag?
You said you need to believe in him. We need to back him. And then what happened? In the last month of Ten Hag, you finally became Ten Hag out. When I was telling you from how many months before.
And that's fine. But those are different. Those are two different scenarios. How long was Ten Hag in the job for before people started?
He had some
Before
time.
majority of the fan base, and I'm talking about the fan base that goes to the ground, that goes to the stadiums. I'm not talking about the man. I'm not talking about the refs. You get me? Who was saying that they want? Who was saying that they want Ten Hag out? It's the guys online that want clicks.
Okay.
This is just
real United fan. We got a Peckham Red here talking to me about the match going fans. Bro, it's Homerton born and raised talking to me about match going fans.
I try and get up there as much as I can. You get me?
No,
I see the reaction.
I've been to a game this season.
Yeah, I've early. Oh God, Ten Hag went out.
Which game was this?
Let's not talk about Ten Hag, man.
Fair enough.
Anyway, moving on. We've done a lot on United and Spurs. I think the last thing will be, so you want your man to stay in. Just quickly, Alfonso. So are we Angian now?
Just even mad. Yeah, bro. I'm so indifferent. If I had to be definitive, I don't think he's the man to take us forward, really and truly. I think that if we don't win Europa League as well, I think he should go regardless. I only hear the injury crisis to an extent after a while you say, you know what, you're a manager, so manage the situation, coach for players, do what you can. I think where we are, this one win doesn't change anything for me. Neither does the win against Brentford earlier this month. I don't think he's been good enough. And I think he's a bit of a yes man as well to Levy. I said this last time on the pod as well. I feel like this is the best job that he's had in his career so far and that he might get. So he's just happy to be here. I don't feel like he's going to challenge Levy or make things difficult for Levy, push the envelope. And I think what made me sure he was very spineless was during the transfer window, how he waited until even late January. He was saying the club are trying really hard to get players in, but you're complaining about injuries. When it's transfer window, you're not calling out the board for lack of transfers. Like he bought in on the first day of the window, he bought in some Slavic goalkeeper. Great. You've got other issues going on around the team. You bought in one guy, and then on like the last day of the window, you get Danzo and Tell. But we played 8 games in January and had no players. For me, I think he's a bit spineless. I hope he wins Europa League because he told me he wins trophies in second season. But really and truly, I don't see him being a man to take us forward.
He ain't winning shit.
Quick question.
What's going to happen is we beat United. We beat United 3 times this season. Yeah, watch us get United in the final, and that'd be the one game they beat us this season.
that would be so Spurs to be fair. But both of you to think that United are getting to a Europa League final.
That's what I'm gonna say. Wait till you lot think you're gonna get to the final anyway. Like, what's going on here?
I didn't say a word. I know my turn.
I think Spurs will get far. I don't know if they'll get to a final, but I think they'll get to like semis. I think Spurs can get semis, maybe not final. But
what other good teams are in the Europa League this season?
There's not that many good ones.
Not a lot. That's what makes it worse.
Yeah,
nowhere near it.
Anyway, guys, we need to move on. So on to, I'm trying to use out the graphics here. What are we showing here? Oh yeah, there we go. Chelsea woes under Maresca as Brighton slap their head, man. My brother.
I don't like the capitalization of slap. Be real.
It's violent though.
You know what I mean? It's very violent.
Marcus, talk to me, brother. 3-0.
3-0.
Literally, I think it's absolutely crazy. Since this whole Clear Lake takeover, you've taken so many Brighton players, you took all of their backroom staff, you've adopted everything. These guys, they finished ahead of you once already. And in terms of head-to-head, they've given you some lashings, Anyway, so they're beating you twice in 7 days. Yep. What's going on? Top 4, it's looking a little bit, it's looking a little bit shaky right now. Talk to me about Chelsea and Maresca in that game.
I think
Start wherever you like. We got all day.
Chelsea season's over. I said this when we had news of the Jackson injury. I don't feel like we have any forwards that can replicate what Jackson does for the team. Yes, Jackson hasn't been scoring for the last couple of weeks, but he actually adds in terms of creativity and bringing the ball up the pitch. And Kunku doesn't do that for us. So that's the first. But the stark difference between the game, I think was it 5-6 days ago, and the game yesterday or Friday, was that the players had given up this game. 3-0, and we didn't deserve to get anything in that game. Yes, Enzo's goal should have stood, but we didn't deserve to get anything in that game. What I will say is the touch and finish by Matoma.
Oh,
you can't do anything about that one. That's brilliant. That's when I saw that, I was like, fair play. But the rest of the Chelsea performance, that game, Colwell's performance, the rest of the defenders' performance, shocking. Palmer's performance, shocking. From top to bottom, the team was shocking. We didn't look like we were trying to do anything, and it just shows the level to which the club has fallen, both on and off the pitch.
Just quickly there on Colwell, that performance was crazy, bro. Chatterbox we'll get to, innit? But Colwell.
On Colwell, he's been doing this, by the way.
Yeah.
I wanna take it back to I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, Colwell. This is when he had a loan spell at Brighton, and the whole league was saying, "Oh, this is the next best centre back. Oh, his passing is brilliant." He wanted to leave Chelsea and maybe sign for Brighton, and everyone was like, "Oh, why would Chelsea want to sell a player like this?" And I was saying to everyone, he's not that good. Like defensively, he doesn't have it. I said it at the time. Everyone was like, I think Liverpool were interested in him as well. I was like, yes, he's decent on the ball, but he's not a top level centre back at all, and I don't think he's going to become one. His defensive
asking price of 67 million.
Thank you. His defensive ability has always been questionable, and we're seeing it now. I still believe he's a brilliant centre back on the ball, but at the top level, this is not a centre back who can get you out of trouble when you need it. In fact, he causes more trouble than he does.
Let's call a spade a spade. He's a mid-table level centre.
Yeah, 100%.
He's not cut out for the top level. The boy can't defend.
Chelsea doesn't have a centre back that's top level right now, anyway.
No, they don't. You can be good on the ball, but you've got to be able to defend. This is centre half. You're not even full back now. There's no attacking centre half. You need to be able to do, the dirty side of the game. You need to be able to battle there. And Cole, he's got passion. I can see that he cares, but he's feeble. He gets big strikers. They
makes way too many mistakes as well.
Way too many mistakes.
Loose passes.
The way Welbeck was slapping him up, bro. Never was there saying after the game that United should have let him go.
Welbeck. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's how crazy it was. I'll be real. You should have left him there at Brighton after the game.
We should have taken the money. We had offers around 70 million at the time. We should have snapped that as soon as we got it. The only problem is I don't see a massive market for top level centre backs in general. You kind of have to buy one and hope that they come good essentially.
The profile. The problem is that his profile is extremely rare. He's left-footed as well. A left-footed centre back is something that's difficult. Like that's of a good level is difficult to find. So if they build him up and he continues to improve, obviously I don't know what his ceiling is. I genuinely don't know. But all I know is that these mistakes that we talk about have been happening week in.
I just feel like stuff like that smells, man. When they say, "Oh, his profile, he's a left-footed centre back." Oh, you can't get guys. Oh. Honestly, man, there was one guy, that CB1 Millie guy, said, "Bro, if you're left-footed, light-skinned, and 6 foot, Chelsea will probably sign you, bro." Is that where we are now? Be good at the game. Be good at the game, like, bro. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
But that's what the game loves nowadays. They love the profiles. Oh, he can do this. He's left-footed. Oh, he's good at on the ball. They don't actually feel like, are you a good defender? Are you a good attacker?
It's so sad, that system football has just taken over. Like,
you know what I'm saying, man? Look at the fundamentals and assess the player. But
Marcus,
sorry,
Marcus, I have a question. Two things. Where are you at with Reece James? Like, where are you at with him in terms of like?
Who's that?
Fair enough.
Like, who are you talking about? Duffy Ghost, the guy doesn't exist, bro.
That's a great question, though.
There's no conversation to be had.
Yeah, he's your club captain, but I think you talk about all these other sort of like technical ability and all these sort of stuff, but like the best ability is availability, and having a club captain that is so unreliable is just it's impossible.
And it's not just him. I'm tired of Lavia as well. We bought Lavia almost 2 seasons ago now. This guy has started like 5 games tops.
Yeah.
It's Lavia, Reece James, all these injury players. Why are you dancing? Stop dancing.
Nah. You said Lavia.
They have world-class potential and world-class quality. But if you don't play football, it doesn't.
He has world-class potential. He don't play. Who cares?
Enjoy this as much as you want. Enjoy this. We still have Caicedo.
Yeah, you got Caicedo. But when you bought Lavia, you were there rubbing in my face saying, I got left with Endo. Bro, Endo has contributed more to Liverpool than Lavia has to Chelsea.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Facts.
And with
Sad.
Palmer as well, how much is Maresca to blame for Palmer? Palmer's not there. Palmer should still be held to a certain level, but it feels crazy for me to see Palmer of last season and even at the Euros, and then now this season, Poch gets sacked at the start of end of last season, and now under Maresca, Palmer looks like, just not the guy you know.
Let's get back to the game then. So let's get back to the game and Chelsea as a whole. So I've always said quite recently that yes, the players are partly to blame for our recent form and obviously the form in the game on Friday, but I believe that Maresca holds the biggest blame. He's shown a lack of adaptability in the league in general. We saw it last season in the Championship with Leicester. They started off well. I think they were almost 30 points ahead at a certain point, and then he doesn't do anything to change when the tide goes against him. Obviously, teams will work you out across the season. He doesn't do anything about that. It came to a point when Chelsea were high flying, but teams have started to work us out. After one game where we lost, I think it was to Fulham, teams were like, okay, this is the method in which you can beat Chelsea. And he's never found a solution to that. And I feel like that shows that he's not a top level manager. He's a decent manager with a decent plan A, but he's not a high level manager who's fast on his feet, can do all this game management stuff, can adapt to situation. And with a team that's so young, our average age this season has been about 23. You need we don't have any elderly statesmen in the squad, so our manager has to be that person to get this team going. And if he's not doing that, then we're not going to do anything.
Fair enough, man. So with Maresca, where are you with him right now? Do you want to see him go? That's the way you're talking.
See, I'm going to blame Maresca for the form, but the greatest culprit with the whole issue of Chelsea is the ownership.
Okay.
I don't want to say fire Maresca because the ownership are not going to bring in anyone who's going to actually revolutionize the club or bring the club back to the level it was before. All they want is yes man. They don't want someone who's going to come in and dictate how they want the club to go. They didn't want to sign Luis Enrique when he interviewed. They didn't want to sign countless managers. They wanted a yes man. That's why they went for a championship manager and gave him a big opportunity. So I don't believe that this ownership have a goal of making Chelsea great again. That's not their plan. This is a business plan. You see how
go on.
You see how you said, we've taken 250 million from Brighton. What they want to do is recreate Brighton as a bigger project. Obviously, Chelsea's a bigger club, but they don't understand what Chelsea stands for, what the fans stand for. The reason you could do it at Brighton is because for the greater part of the last 20 years, Brightons have been in the Championship and League One. Like, for them, this is success. What Brighton are doing right now, that's success for a club that size. For a club the size of Chelsea, buying young players, selling them for profit, all of this rigmarole, it's not good enough. That's not success for us fans. We want to see success on the pitch, and these ownership don't care about it. We don't have a sponsorship on our team kit. What is that? 2 seasons in a row we've gone out without a sponsorship for the greatest part of the season. It's inept. I don't want to say Clear Lake out because we can't do anything about it. But recently, the EU have forgiven Abramovich for his they said he wasn't involved in the Ukraine war. Surely they can give him back his club. Surely they can give him back his club. Surely they can.
That's very wishful thinking, bro. That's very wishful thinking. But I hear you though. Clear Lake are disgusting. Yep. I genuinely think like it's some of the worst executive decision making that I've ever seen. From
American owners are the worst. Like I feel like we're going through what the United fans went through with the Glazers. I feel like this is it. On the 25th of February, the Chelsea fans are doing a protest as well.
I'm so happy that other clubs are experiencing what I've been experiencing for the entirety of my life. I just want to say as well, I think that if United do get relegated at the end of the season, or if it does it probably will get worse than what it currently is. There will be A-level and GCSE history topics on Manchester United and the downfall, and what it is to run a club, something that is the highest level, at the peak of success in every facet, to the bottom, and it shows the ineptitude of the management at the top level. And I think that will be a GCSE case study. I think it will be 40 marks.
Like I know you complain about John Henry, but he's doing at least has high expectations for the club. At least.
Yeah.
The 3 other owners currently with you right now, if you look at the problems, you analyze the problems in each club.
Does John Henry have high expectations for Liverpool? Or is 100%. He just... No, I'm not sure he does. I think he's just 100%. I think he's very competent. I think he's very good. He's very business savvy, and he knows as well. He's business savvy in the way that he knows that I don't know the best about football, so I'm gonna hire very good football people.
You have very good structure at the club.
Yeah, he makes sure that structure's pattern, and he's prepared to move people around. Kind of get rid of football executives that aren't doing what they're meant to be doing, and he makes sure that side of things is patterned. That's what I would say.
That in itself is a skill that is unbelievably underrated. To know what you don't know, so that you can pattern something, you can get people that will pattern what you don't know. For example, Chelsea's manager and their board, they made their own role, their own sporting director, creative role, because they felt they could do a better job than people that have years of experience of doing that. And you look at Tottenham and Daniel Levy and how on things outside of football, he's so governed, he's so patterned. But I've got Tottenham fans, I've got friends at work that are telling me straight after losses, they're getting tickets, they're getting notifications on their phone of Beyonce tickets. That will send my head to Mars. That will send my head to Mars, No,
I think business-wise is superb. I think.
But we're not. We're football clubs. I don't care.
Yeah, but that's the problem.
We're not football clubs anymore.
I'm so tired of people talking about Daniel Levy, about him being superb. I don't care about his business acumen. I couldn't care less. We're a football. We're a football. We got Kendrick coming. Kendrick and Scissors coming. We have Oasis coming. My bro, what F1? Even F1 can't. He's advertising Squid Games. Why don't we have Squid Games?
You know what would be for me the most concerning thing if I was a Spurs fan? At the front of your stadium now, it's not just the Spurs logo. It's Spurs and then it's NFL and then there's other stuff. So it's not. So it's not just. So we're genuinely living through the time period where it's shifting from football now to, because football's become such a big thing. It's so commercial. It's literally businesses now. They are making money off us. We are customers.
Yeah, they're making hotels. Levy used to make hotels.
Watch an NFL game. See how many ads you see in an NFL game. That's what they're trying to recreate here.
But also, wouldn't you say though, in Spurs' instance, like when you look at where they were before Levy came in, and I know you say you don't care about it, but the financial power that Spurs have is like you wouldn't have it without him, and that's why your expectations have gone higher.
Sure, but before Levy, we'd at least win trophies at least every 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. True. With Levy, it's been 24, 25 years of a singular Carling Cup. So yes, you've made a stadium that pumps beer by itself, and yes, that's all lovely and great. But the fact is, we'd be a lot better off without Levy. We do not care. We do not care about the hotel he's building. We don't care about any of it. We are a football club. Whenever anyone says anything about Levy positive, it's always about things outside of football. Yes, we have financial pool now. Who do we buy with it? What wages do we offer top players?
No, yeah.
It's pointless. He's getting all this money. It's like, right, he's doing really well, but he's not putting it into the club. So
you buy players.
But we don't put them. We buy. Who do we buy? What top players do we go after?
No, you don't. Yeah,
can you attract top players?
But why can't we? Why can't we attract top players?
That's the problem. So in addition to that as well, I look at Spurs. The tickets are their pricing. Why are Spurs tickets more expensive than United's? But A said just now. No, they do have a new stadium. However, if you're saying that their Spurs fans, their expectations shouldn't rise, I think their expectations should rise in line with the price of the ticket. If the price of the ticket is £85, you're going there to expect a mad thing. You're going there to expect Madrid, bro. £85 a ticket, and these are meaty seats. You're paying for the quality of football. No, but that's what my point is. It's not just the quality of football. Not every game will you get like the best quality of football from every player. But you're paying for a base level standard. The amount of games that Tottenham have lost and the fashion in which they're losing in, I think it's not right to me. But obviously, this is as a United fan, I also have my own gripes with my own club, so I understand what is going on at Tottenham.
I feel like there's a greater question about ownership in the Premier League in general right now, because apart from the likes of, I'd say, like the Saudi-owned teams, obviously Man City and Arsenal to an extent, I don't feel like most clubs have an ownership in place that is actually rooted in success on the pitch, and it's quite sad to see for Premier League football.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the only one is Man City, and that's out of the big six, really. I think they're really concerned about winning. I think, the rest is it's really top four. I think City are the ones where they've got a very competent structure that You know, they've clearly got business savvy people running it, but then you can also see they have that hunger to win. They will invest to win. And, you know, obviously they've done a lot of stuff, you know, underhand stuff. But if you look at the way City have actually run in recent years, it's actually the way you'd want your football club to win. Obviously, it's on the bed of, you know, 115 charges. But in terms of how, like, in recent years, that's how you want smart business people. They buy young players when they need to. They go and get the best players. If they're in a bad way, they invest, they back their manager, and they go and get the best. You know, they're the board that got Pep, etc. And they just do the job, really. And that's why they're the most successful.
I feel like ownership used to be like that in general back in the day. All the top clubs had an owner who wanted their team to succeed and wanted them team to do something on the pitch.
Quite a lot of them, yeah. And then it was a thing like making money out of a football club got you torched, especially if you weren't looking to invest that. But now it's kind of seen as okay to, you know.
Back in the day, it's more about, like, of course, if you're winning, you're kind of increasing the brand. And if increasing the brand, the club is of more value. And that's how owners used to get money from clubs. But now they want to take dividends. They want to take money from the club directly. And it's a bit of a mess.
The fact the Glazers bought United on debt, were taking dividends while they were under. Bro, anyway,
retain that debt, by the way, and now that debt has been passed on to our new owners. We cannot buy any players because of that previous. If we get into United, we'll be here for time, you know. I swear down.
But we've got to move on. Next topic, man. Let me get it. So the title race. The title race is heating up. Arsenal played.
Heating up, bro. Say heating up. What's heating in it?
Heating. Oh yeah, sorry. That's a terrible English. Hey, yo.
Wilson's.
Hey, that's a nightmare. Where did heating come from?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I don't know what you're trying to do to me, Marcus. Marcus wrote the agenda, you know.
Don't do that. Don't do that. This guy is crazy. Ayo.
Anyway, guys, so I've auto-corrected Marcus there. I can give you that, fair enough. You noticed it when I popped up on the screen.
Because you were
I've just fixed it there. So there we go. The title race. Quickly, you know, because we finished around 75, 80 minutes. Obviously, we started 5 minutes into it. But cool. The title race, I guess so. The Arsenal game was on Saturday, so I guess we should start with that. We've got no Arsenal fans in the party today. We thank God. But let's they obviously got the Havertz injury midweek, which is a huge blow to their season given their attacking woes.
They have a better striker than Havertz now.
They might just do, man. They start that game and it's literally looking like like the exact problem that we thought we have.
First half was shocking.
Yeah, even first 60, 70 minutes, like the whole till Marino's, just about 10 minutes before Marino scored, first 7 minutes of the game, they were really struggling in terms of their attack. Obviously dominating the ball. Leicester were defending in the deep block and they just couldn't really create any chances, apart from Ethan Nwaneri, who I thought was
fascinating.
Yeah, bro, he was fantastic. Definitely the man of the match without a shadow of a doubt. He's a real nice
got a shot on him as well.
Arsenal got a proper shot on him. Serious young G's. It's quite frightening.
I quite like him. You know, he proper reminds me of Coutinho, you know.
That's what I was saying. Like, his profile is very Coutinho.
Proper Coutinho-esque. Like, he's not really that type of... Because when he first came on the scene and the way Arsenal fans were talking about him, I thought he was going to be like almost like a mini Odegaard, like a pure 10, you know, that wants to play make. But he's quite dynamic in terms of the way that he plays. He wants to score. He wants to make a final third pass. He wants to hurt the other team. He's not really interested in, tippy-tappy football. And it's quite it's quite something to see from someone his age.
I actually think he's better at that part of the game than Odegaard is in terms of trying to force something to create a chance. Like he actually every time I've watched him, and it's been limited amounts of times that I've watched him. However, he's more inclined to punch the ball, to force it forward, to try and create something than to play the safe or to do the safe option.
I think it's still a bit early. I think they're doing that to Odegaard because he hasn't been great. But I do think, he's definitely got. I'll say he's got more capability in the final third than Odegaard from what I've seen, which is interesting when you think that. I don't think he's been that great in the 10 when they've tried him there this season. I've liked him a lot more out wide, but long term, I do definitely see a player that can definitely do it later. It might be because he's going to have to play, you know what I mean? Kind of next season, the season after. I think Saka will go in and take his position, but you might look at it now and you might look at Odegaard. If it's Rice and Zubimendi coming in, you probably want someone who's a bit more of a final third player in that 10 position.
I feel like the 10 at this point.
Odegaard might be in trouble, which would be mad to see.
I feel like the 10 at this point is a lot of responsibility for him, and I don't feel like they should put him in that position just yet. I feel like Odegaard is the team captain, so it's like you can't really ask for him to be dropped completely from the team. I feel like next season they might have to retry the dual eights thing and have him and Odegaard playing at the same time and see what they can do with that.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I'm talking more in years to come.
Okay.
You're thinking maybe 2 seasons to come, because I think this season, he's still going to rotate. I think next season he can still be a rotational player, but I think he's going to start, once he starts clicking, I think it's going to start getting to the point in a couple of years, because I only see him getting better where you're thinking, where can we fit him in the side? And I think it's Odegaard that he might threaten. You never know. Obviously, he needs to develop in the right way. Odegaard still is already a top-level player, as is Saka. He might never put that pressure on them and may end up just being a rotational player. But I'm just saying, if it's one, I feel like it might be Odegaard that's in trouble. Anyway, Marino goes and bags a brace. What the hell is happening? We put on a post on the Rondo about them using Marino as an auxiliary striker, and Arsenal fans themselves came and insulted our admin and said, I don't know what you're trying to sabotage us. I don't know what you're saying. The rumors were true, that obviously are true, but it was from the Telegraph that Arteta was trying Marino in the 9 midweek to see if it would work.
His second finish was quite clean.
Yeah.
The second finish was quite clean.
I think both of them were strikers finishes. I can't lie. People were saying
the move
was cold. The movement was cold.
The movement for the first one, he gets proper in between the centre backs, back post.
Apart from, I think, the Laps goal against Aston Villa, that was very good striker movement. I thought that's some of the best movement we saw this weekend from strikers in the league. Seriously.
Yeah. I think he's clearly got a knack for it, because to be fair, he's always been quite good in the air as a player. He's scored a lot of headers. And he hasn't really pulled trees in centre mid, but we saw that stat as well. But in terms of XMPG per 90, he's one of the highest there. So he actually clearly has like quite a good level of attacking instinct. So for me, you got to start Marino up top next game and see how it goes. I don't know how his all-round 9 play will be, but at least he can get on the end of things.
They don't really have a choice, to be honest. So, Sterling was absolutely shocking that game. So, where else did they go?
Yeah, Sterling struggled. I can't lie. It's quite sad to see like Sterling at the moment.
How old is he? How old is he?
He's 30.
29 or 30, yeah.
He shouldn't be like this.
It is quite sad. But you see, when people say that, I think he should. Not a lot of players, not everyone is Messi and Ronaldo. Like, I feel like every other player that started as young as Sterling has ended up with a similar trajectory as this. Like, majority of them have ended up like,
Hazard,
not
Neymar,
completely washed, but like they've a drastic drop off.
Rooney.
Neymar.
Yes, Neymar. Neymar fell off quite early as well.
Neymar's only 32 now.
Yeah.
He's
cooked.
I think, but Neymar's thing was injuries. Like, Neymar missed a whole year. Like, Neymar's thing's been injury. Yeah. Sterling's been playing. Sterling went to, after City, he went to Chelsea. He was fit and he was having an awful time, like at Chelsea. Then went to Arsenal and continued that.
Yeah, it's either your level drops or your body can't keep up with what it was doing before. It's one of the two.
Yeah, but a level drop is different to whatever Sterling's serving up at the moment. Level drop. This is not.
Is on him.
This is not a level
decline. This is declinature. Like, this is like he's benching over 150 on that. He's gone so far. Like, it's really bad. It's such
the performance from Sterling was crazy though. Like, he was the turnover trigger for Leicester. Like, you can see when he got the ball on the attacks, the Leicester, collect. Let's turn it over. Like, it was a bad one from him. But yeah, he's struggling. They're definitely going to send him straight back to Chelsea. And then you wonder what Chelsea are going to do with him, because he's on.
Who's going to buy him? Nobody's going to buy him.
What's it on 280k?
He's on like 300k, bro.
And again, I can see why Arsenal fans get frustrated. Arteta needs to stop this save a whole foundation. Like, this, it needs to end. He can't keep like, I can turn this person. No, get players that you know are going to help contribute to what they're currently in, which is a title challenge. They're in a title charge and they have no striker. It's crazy.
Anyway, on to Liverpool. So Liverpool played Wolves. A little bit of a nervy game, guys.
Should have ended the draw. It should have ended the draw.
It should have.
That striker that Wolves had should have scored at least 2 more goals.
Yeah, I mean, did he have a big chance?
They played them in, and he just came off the goalkeeper.
Oh yes. Alisson made a good save. Yeah, no, to be honest, and they had a lot of shots. You know, we didn't have a single shot in the second half. It was crazy. I think there was, and Wolves had 10. We were getting absolutely peppered. I think it was one of those games where I think the nerves of playing Everton had really fed into the minds of the players, and they were just like, I just want to see through this game and win it. And for that reason, they just...
That's why Jota was embarrassing.
I don't think
guy was nasty, man.
I don't think Jota being embarrassing. That's his own business. That was disgusting, by the way.
Yeah,
I literally yelled at my TV, and you know, for me, that is an absolute pet peeve, bro. When it comes to attackers, like for no reason, you're through on goal. You can take an easy strike on goal, and instead you dive. Because the only logical reason, because diving and cheating is so ingrained in your blood. And you don't just take an opportunity to score a goal. And Jota doing that, we could have gone 3 up. And that kills the game. And instead, this guy dies. And you've got VAR now. Of course, it got overturned. When it got overturned, I was like, book him.
I'm surprised they didn't book him.
You should have booked him.
I wasn't surprised. It's Liverpool. Why were you surprised? I wasn't surprised.
Whatever, man. But the thing is, he's done it before. I remember against Newcastle, 3-2 up at Anfield. He does it. And luckily, the keeper initiates the contact. The contact is very slight. Really, the ref shouldn't have given it. So VAR probably looked at it and said, it's probably not quite enough to overturn. I think they could have. But again, I remember watching that and I was annoyed because I was thinking, bro, he went through on an open goal and dived. So
no, it's crazy.
I don't know what's going on with him. That definitely could have cost us. Luckily, it didn't. I thought the first half was good. I've got some faith that we still have some sense in our minds. But yeah, a little bit of a shaky one. But hopefully, it's just one of those ones where you're a bit, confidence is a bit low and nerves are running a little bit after you've taken such a dagger from Everton. So hopefully we need to kick on because we've got some tough games coming up. And yeah, I'm a little bit worried. I do not want to see Robertson play Savino on the weekend next weekend. I'm not even joking.
Do you think the title race is going to go down to like the last couple of weeks of the league?
Probably, but I think it will always be rather comfortable for Liverpool. I actually do think it's going to go down to 4 or 5 points. I think we're going to drop. I think we're going to get 4 points from these next 2 games against Aston Villa and City. I think we draw 1, which would be so annoying. And I think Arsenal will probably win their next 2 games. I think they'll definitely beat West Ham. They're not good. Forest could go this way or that way, but I think we've just got a lot tougher games than Arsenal, so I do think it will go down to about 4 or 5 points. But I just think Arsenal will drop points again anyway. They don't have attackers. They just don't know. But yeah, so I think it will get a little bit close, but I'm fully confident that we'll win the league. So, yeah. It's heating it up, as Marcus would say, but
don't do this.
Don't
do this, Don't do this.
Bro, you made the agenda, bro. You made the agenda this week.
We all know who put the agenda in the chat, innit? Let's just say that. We all know who put it in.
Cool. All right then, man. Match roundup quickly, man. Starting off with Man City. Man City 4, Newcastle 0.
Marmoush has arrived on the Premier League. And if City have another firing goal scorer in that front line, we've got a problem again.
They do, though.
We've got a huge problem going forward.
Like his thing, there's a few players again. You don't need to see a lot of them to know that they will be good. Like I think that his debut even in the first minute he took a touch.
Chelsea. Yeah,
he took a mad touch in the first couple of minutes that put him through on goal. You see, he missed it, but that kind of lightning in his feet, that's not a normal thing. So from there, I knew that he would get the chances. Whether or not he could finish, he showed me he could finish this week. So I'm concerned about what that guy's going to be in the next 5 years.
Yeah. He's a live wire, man. I think I was looking at him again, those first couple of games. I was thinking, bro, he's dangerous. Like, not maybe the most amazing dribbler in the world, but in terms of like he's like a striker that plays out wide or in the sort of 10 position that he's playing. But
he's got a bit of jink to him as well, though.
Yeah, he's got the jink, he's got that shift, he's got the movement, and he's got the hunger.
Speed. Yeah.
So I was looking at it, I can't lie, I was jealous because he just gives vibes of a proper Liverpool forward. Obviously, he's gone.
He suits Liverpool. He suits Liverpool to a T.
What did you say, sorry?
I think he suits Liverpool way more.
Yeah, exactly. I actually thought the one way that he might not quite work out at City is because I was seeing he was making runs and City weren't really playing them in early. And they kind of did that with Haaland to start with, and Haaland had to adapt. But Haaland's quite an intelligent player. I didn't know if he was going to be able to adapt. But it seems like Pep, kind of spoke to the boys and said, bro, play him. Because Edison just gets it and just flings it over the top.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I'm saying? City don't always play in that sort of fashion. And even just the way they were playing quite quickly into him, which I think is their best bet at the moment, because all this like passing around, they need to just create as many chances and try and blow teams away, because I still feel like defensively and in the midfield, they're a little bit of a worry, but they completely blew Newcastle away.
I think it's good for City in the future though, because more time we've seen that if you take Haaland out of the game, City don't have a threat going forward, and it's kind of cost them. Now they have this secondary threat. Teams have to adapt to that as well. So as you said, yes, they've been laps in the midfield, laps in defense. So if they keep going, focusing on the attack and just outscoring teams, maybe they can finish third or do something better next season.
The Gonzalez guy looked all right. I don't know if you guys saw him. Like he can actually put a tackle in, which I think is a big thing for them. I didn't really see anything particularly amazing on the ball. I saw about kind of like the last 50 or so minutes of the game. So I don't know if he did anything before that, but I was like, right, he's actually putting in tackles, to be fair. So I think that's another positive for City as well.
Okay, moving on, I want to talk about the man himself, Aston Villa versus Ipswich, Rashford. Raheem. Rashford came off the bench second half, and I would say like he actually changed the game. Going forward, he was sharp. The free kick was very good as well. He got past players. We saw dribbling again from Rashford. Where was this player?
I'm happy for him. I want him to go there and flourish and show the people that were getting onto him. Do you know what it is? Backing somebody for years, and knowing what at their highest level what they're capable of doing, but that person not being able to do that consistently. It's very infuriating, because as you've watched that person, you've analyzed that player, how good they are when they are at their best. He is still unstoppable at his best, and he showed that when he came on. He came on against that. What was that? 45-minute cameo. They couldn't touch him. At his best, he will beat you with skill and speed, and he will create or score. That's what he does. So I hope he continues to do that. I hope he's got a good manager now in terms of Emery, where everything else has already been set up. That team is already set up, and he just has to come in and just contribute. So if he can do that in that team and flourish there, I'm happy to see him do well. So I hope he continues to do it.
Do you feel like there's a route for him to come back? Obviously, he's alone. Is there a route for him to come back?
I don't want him to. The fan base treated him horribly. We don't deserve him. If anything, we don't deserve it.
Damn.
The guy played with a back injury for a year, and there was guys saying that he's not dying on the pitch for the club. It's calm. Of course, his work rate wasn't. I'm not going to dispute. I'm not going to gaslight people and dispute the things.
You're a United fan. You just want the best players to play for your club.
I should. But him specifically, I think for his own mental health, for his own, his well-being, let him go somewhere else and flourish where he doesn't have the pressure of the world on his shoulders. Look what we do to him on a daily basis at United. It's crazy.
No, I think it's good for him. I agree with you, and I think it's nice that you admit that. United is just a horrible black hole, and you can really reflect on what your club
You're not a good guy.
Why black? Black feels a bit.
It's a horrible black hole, but they regress and decimate the talents that they have. Rashford he's playing with freedom. You see,
exactly.
But Sancho though, is Sancho playing with freedom? He's playing like he's still locked up.
But Chelsea is very similar. It starts to soul out players as well. Like it's very similar on that level. But moving forward with Aston Villa as a whole, like if you look at the players they brought on in that second half, they've got depth in their team. Like it's actually quite amazing. Like Emery's done a job there. He's created a real big squad. Obviously, you have the likes of Asensio, Rodgers, Ramsey, now Rashford as well. Bailey is there. Watkins. I know they've sold Duran, but that's still a great squad that they have.
No, they've got a squad. But their results, though, 1-1 against Ipswich at home.
Yeah.
It's poor, but again, this is
kind of get it together a bit, and they're like 8th or 9th in the table,
That's why I said I don't think they're going to do anything this season. Obviously, they're playing across the league and the Champions League. They've done decent enough in the Champions League, but I feel like this is their level whilst being in the European competition.
Yeah, I think it has like taken a bit of a toll, and it's a lot. I think players often think like kind of not players, sorry, lower level clubs in terms of their fans. They often think, get into Europe and we just invest in the squad, we'll be all right in terms of being able to kind of maintain that league position as well. But it's not even in terms of the quality of your squad, it's the mentality of your players. Go in again every 3 days.
Yeah.
Bro, it starts to tire you out across the season. And if your players aren't used to it and they're used to more days off and things like this, it's intense when every 3 days you got to, it's not going for you in 50, 60 minutes into the game. The lactic acid is already coming up and to say, no. There's a certain standard of this club and you go again and you win. It's something that, well, actually, only my club have at the moment, looking at the guys here, but it's something that your clubs all previously had, apart from Alfonso, and it's something that it's not things.
You know what I hate the most? I hate that you can do this. I hate that my club has allowed you to be able to do this.
That's what I was going to say before, yeah? I feel like the traditional Big Six is over, bro. It doesn't exist anymore.
It never existed.
It might be.
There's no Big Six no more. There's City, Arsenal, and Liverpool right now. And then there's the other teams battling around from about fourth.
All over the place.
Yeah,
the fact that the Big Six are stretched after the first three, Liverpool, City, and Arsenal, the fact that they're stretched from about 6th to 15th in the table is insane. You might be right.
I feel like the last time all the Big Six finished in the top 6 was quite a while ago.
Yeah, it was.
It was Aston Villa last season, Newcastle the season before. Like other teams are just breaking into the mode. It's done, mate. It's done.
Very quickly, Moyes, bro.
2-1.
2-1. Everton win again, bro.
But when did Beto become a good striker?
I'm honestly lost for words. The thing is, he's still crap at football. No, if you actually look at it, like technique-wise, I'm not. I think he's.
He has a one finish. He has that inside. He has
The finish was good.
He has a one finish, but bro, if you look at like technique-wise, in terms of like, he's like League One like level, but League One championships. But in terms of I can't he applies himself. He's got passion. You can tell he's passionate to to try, and he makes himself a nuisance, which. When you've got that to you, and other players can be more talented, you can do something. And under Moyes, you can see the guy is playing his heart out. You know what I mean? And it's mad. He's got a good kind of range. I think he scored like 4 or 5 in the last kind of 5 6 games.
Yeah, he's been at it. From what I saw last season, probably one of the worst strikers I've seen in the Premier League. I'm quite impressed.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Moyes, he's doing his magic. I can't lie. I've got to give credit to him. You look at him, at the moment, and it's funny, like, Rahimi will tell me it's okay for Amorim to play, for Amorim to be coaching what he's coaching on the pitch. And Moyes has come into Everton. You think about, even in terms of like how toxic it was at Everton, the quality of players, man is making Beto look good. And apparently it's all right for Amorim to be below him in the table right now.
Why do man do this with no context? Like when I said that, when I'm saying that it's calm for Amorim to do this, I'm saying it's still unacceptable for us to be 15th. However, I understand that what he's trying to do, he's coming with a system. He's going to implement that system at all costs. If you wanted to play for the victories and play to win, and then we're losing, then I get onto you. David Moyes is clearly playing his tactic just for results. That is a fact.
All right, man. We don't want to get into United again. I just wanted to give you that swipe. I feel like you deserved it. But lastly, the Snapchat derby, man. Just a quick one. Like, what we saying? Fulham versus Nottingham Forest.
I didn't actually catch that game. It was 2-1 to Fulham, right?
Yeah, it's 2-1 to Fulham. Yeah. So
they won.
I didn't actually catch either, but they won the Snapchat derby. So if anyone had anything they wanted to say in regards to that, but. I thought it's nice that the Premier League has these, these kind of little things going on now, kind of outside of the top 6. A lot of big characters across the league and whatnot.
I feel like there's a lot more games to be interested in this season. Newcastle Forest, Newcastle Aston Villa, Forest, Brighton, Fulham, like all these teams. Watching them play is actually quite interesting to do. Quite an entertaining prospect. So I feel like just the level of the league has gone up, both in entertainment value and in quality.
Cool. Lastly, bonus topic. Did we want to speak briefly about Jude Bellingham? Was there anything else on people's minds? It's just kind of open.
The red card was like.
I didn't actually want to speak about that. I wanted to speak about him generally as a player because I feel like he had a good game against City midweek. Obviously, he got the goal as well, and I think he scores that goal. And I'm sitting on the TL, and the thing is, that's what the thing annoys me about people online is I don't feel like they watch 90s. In fact, I know that they don't watch 90s because if you watch that game, bro, Bellingham was one of the better midfielders on the pitch across the game. Played well. You watch it, then he scores the last minute winner as well. I'm thinking I'm going on the TR and I'm thinking it's, people are going to be like, I've got to give him credit. And I'm seeing people saying that Bellingham's had a stinker and he saved it with a goal. And what's mad as well is that a lot of these are English fans. So the question to the group I wanted to ask is that why does he have this stigma attached to him? Why do people?
What did Sol Campbell say?
Bro, I'll be super real. The guy does everything to a borderline elite level, and people still get onto him. At what point are you going to call it for where it is? Like, you get that? I don't understand.
I feel like the English public generally know that he's our 1 star in the England squad. I don't feel like that's disputed.
Nah, I still think the majority would play Foden over Bellingham.
No,
if you ask English fans,
Bellingham is England's biggest star. That's not really a dispute. That's not a debate.
You think like that? You think like that?
He's playing for Real Madrid and he's winning Champions Leagues. It's not really a question, mate.
But what's weird is though, I think you think that, but mainstream media thinks that. But I think mainstream media does. But when you talk to when you look on social media, when you just talk to the guy at the pub, he's not. They don't rate him as much as you would expect. And I get that.
I've never got why he's not getting rated. Like, I don't actually get it at all. Like, he's playing at the biggest club in the world and performing. So it's making
every week.
You actually can't do anything in ball. Like, he's a young guy from Birmingham, went to Dortmund, then went Madrid, and his first season he was balling out and he won the CL. Like,
he's got like 18
it's not enough
games this season.
Say again?
He's got like 18 goals and assists in 27 games this season. From midfield, that's a great output.
And he's midfielding. He's midfielding as well. Like, people talk like he's just doing tap-ins. And even if he is just doing tap-ins, Lord help us. Bro, the hardest thing in football to do is score goals, and he's scoring goals at the highest level. So I don't get, and even people like Trey, anyway, he's a donut anyway. It's so incredible. And they'll be like, Bellingham, he can't do what Pedri does. If Bellingham was doing what Pedri done and not getting any of the goals, we'd be like, he needs to do more. Bellingham's doing midfielding and getting goals and assists, and it's still like, he's not doing. Come on, man, pack it in.
But that's the thing. You see, we talk about the fact that Trey doesn't rate him, and I think the colour thing is a big thing. But if you notice it, it's not even like black guys. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Asian guys.
It's the way he plays football. That's what it is.
I think that's the big thing. That's why I was liking the way Alfonso was cooking it, because I think there's a big thing about even the way he plays, and I don't really get it because it's like I think it's quite obvious, and it has been for a while, what type of player Jude Bellingham is. No, he is not a.
Everyone wants to see the technique god or
he's not that.
the Spanish stealth player. That's what they want to see.
But you need different types of midfielders.
100%.
I want results, and he's all action. Like, it's funny because he's even been asked to do something different completely this season to what he was doing the season before, and he's still effective.
Very true.
And people are still getting onto him. It doesn't make any sense to me, but he's what he is.
It's crazy. I actually think it's crazy because, like you guys said, he's not every midfielder needs to be a playmaker. You know what I mean? Like a pure playmaking type of midfielder. He's a clear box to box, all action type midfielder that gets a lot of goals at key decisive moments. The kid, he's not even 21 yet, I don't think. I think he's still 20. Bundesliga Young Player of the Year at 18.
Nuts,
That's so insane, you know.
No way he's not 21.
Not Bundesliga Young Player of the Year, sorry. Bundesliga Player of the Season at 18. Captain Dortmund, for large chunks of that season where he got that award. Goes to Madrid for a record fee, all that pressure on his shoulder, wins the La Liga Player of the Season, charges them towards the league. After Vinicius is their second best player.
He is 21, by the way.
In the Champions League. He would have just turned 21. Even still, he's done all of this before. Yeah. Then now, again, this season, it's been playing everywhere. Left mid, 8, 10, you know, more of a box to box.
When he came to Madrid, he asked Zidane about taking number 5. This is before he done it. He asked Zidane about wearing that number 5 at Zidane wore. Bro, this is big kahunas.
You know what I find the maddest though? They retired his shirt at Birmingham. They knew, you see everyone in the club. You see when they know that when you know something is mad. Them man knew, you see someone and you know immediately what they're on. They knew immediately this guy is going. He's going up. He's going up. So he went up. He's at the best club in the world, the biggest club in the world, and he's consistently performing every week.
And the maturity he has at his age is insane. Like we don't talk about it enough. The maturity at his age to do what he does at his age is just insane.
Bro, he's cold, bro. He's cold, bro. He's world class.
Of course, that's not even debatable, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, people would debate it with you. People tell me that he's not good.
Nah. He's England's best talent.
I find that
crazy. Yeah, of course.
I find that insane, you know.
Would you say so, Rahimi?
I just find it insane that people think he's not good. The guy's scoring bicycle kicks to keep us in competitions.
Bro,
you know, after he scored the bicycle kick, people said he was poor across that game.
Whatever, man. Okay. You can't be clutched at that. I just dismissed it. It doesn't make sense.
It's just that whatever. I think it's a huge problem in football at the moment that people want perfect players, and I seem to think people sort of. We got a couple comments in. Oh no! I missed those comments from ages ago. But I was just saying that I feel like it's a huge problem in social media at the moment. Like people want perfect players, like. And they're sort of like distorting reality and thinking that because of nostalgia, they're thinking these players from the past were perfect, you know, in every single attribute. We have different types of players. People look at Salah and they get mad. They get mad at Salah because he doesn't dribble. You know what I'm saying? They get mad at Bellingham because he doesn't do this. They probably get mad at Pedri because he doesn't score goals and assists. I think people forget, like, if you look up Xavi and Iniesta's goals and assists over a season, bro, they don't return goals and assists. You know what I'm saying? They will probably start getting torched for not scoring goals and assists. Same with like someone like Lampard, for instance. They say he doesn't play make enough. Like it's getting silly.
That wasn't true though. Lampard and Drogba used to connect all the time. Let's not do that.
Lampard was a pretty good playmaker. I don't think he's not a controller though. He don't run games.
Okay.
But yeah, I do. He does playmake in the final third. To be fair.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know, it is what it is. I'm happy that everyone in this stream is clear on this quality. But I think that rounds off the Rondo. It's good to, not be limited to an hour and to be able to have real good discussion across. I think, at the end of the day, I think we look back at it and it's Liverpool at the top of the table and it's a bunch of other clubs trying to do what they can do, man. And yeah. But no, credit to all of you, man. Credit to all of you for sticking in there. But thank you. Like, subscribe. You see that in the bottom right?
No. No. We don't end like that. Sticking in there like we're some scrubs.
You got to do closing prayer now because that's mad.
I said you guys are trying.
Nah, allow it, man. Don't patronize. We're not little whiz.
No. Okay, no worries.
We're trying.
You're trying, though. You're trying.
You're silly.
All right, guys, man. All right, like, subscribe, and all that lovely stuff, man. We'll see you again next week, live at 8, man. This is going to be the move going forward. Peace.